I have two things to get through. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbana zidna ilman ajma'in wa allimna al-kitab. Ameen. So we're going to start with the Surah Al-Mulk and the Tashahhud on Monday. So we're going to go over um, the definitions, inshallah. So if you didn't get a chance to do all of it, you can just write down the answer somewhere else, and then you can work on it, separately. Okay? We work. Oh, yeah. So we're just gonna work. So we worked on this on Monday, actually. So
When you say you worked on it, what did you do? Just analyze the grammar?
yeah, we just had you fill out all of the blanks. Okay. So let's start with the Tashahhud, which is the longer one. Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 blanks in there. So what's the first one? At-tahiyatu lillahi. Can you translate, Brother Najmul? So read from the English part that you read or that you wrote.
At-tahiyatu is for Allah.
Is for Allah. So for lillahi, you would translate that as for Allah or belongs to Allah or is to Allah. Okay? So what's lillahi, like grammatically? No.
No, it's not.
It's harf jar ism majroor, right? So it's jarun wa majroorun. So li is a harf jar, and the ism that follows it is majroor. So that's why it's lillahi. Okay? At-tahiyatu lillahi was-salawatu wat-tayyibatu. So at-tahiyat is for Allah, and as-salawat, which is worship, they translate this as worship, and at-tayyibatu, good deeds. Okay? Wat-tayyibatu, okay? And wassalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi. How did you translate that, Brother Anwar?
Peace be upon you.
Peace be
Assalamu alaikum.
alayka. So what did you write in English? You said it, right? What? Peace be upon you, right? So you're saying assalamu alayka. So this is talking to one person, male, right? Alayka, right? So who is it? Who are you talking to in this case, or who are you saying the salam to? Ayyuhan Nabi, right? So you don't have to translate Ayyuhan Nabi, it's already there. So, and peace be upon you, O Prophet. Ayyuhan Nabi is O Prophet. Okay? Wa rahmatullahi, Brother Paul? And the mercy of Allah. Okay, so what's rahmatullahi grammatically? This time it's Brother Ala? Mudaf, mudaf ilayh, right? The mercy of Allah. So whenever you have something of something, that's your mudaf, mudaf ilayh. Rahmatullahi. Wa barakatuhu, Sister Shireen. Not just blessings, but barakatuhu. His blessings, right? So what's barakatun, the plural of baraka, right? So barakatun is plural, and then the single is baraka. Barakatun. Okay? So barakatun ends with ta marbuta. So when you're making it plural, how do you make something with ta marbuta plural? You add an atun. Okay, just like muslimatun, how does it become plural? Muslimatun. Okay. So now, if you want to say, you're not just saying blessings, you're saying his blessings. So you're gonna add a hu to it. Barakatuhu. Okay. Barakatuhu, his blessings. Okay. Next part. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadika as-salihin. Sister Tahira.
Peace be upon us and
Peace be upon us. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadika as-salihin, and upon your righteous servants. And sometimes this is wa ala ibadillahi as-salihin, right? So if you memorize a different version of the tashahhud, you might say Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillahi as-salihin. So what's the difference between ibadillahi as-salihin and ibadika as-salihin? You're mentioning Allah. There's really no difference because you're saying Assalamu ala وعلى عباد الله الصالحين and على عبادك الصالحين. So in one you're addressing, in this one you're addressing Allah directly, عبادك, and then the other one you're just saying the servants of Allah. Okay. And عباد is the plural for عبد, right? So عباد, plural is عبد. عبد means servant, servant or slave. So this is on the pattern of fi'alun. So this is a broken pattern. You don't say abduna, right? You say ibadun. And then as-salihin is righteous, right? So your righteous servants, or your servants who are righteous. Yeah? And then, so that whole sentence was starting from the yellow portion. Wassalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi, peace be upon you, O Prophet, wa rahmatullahi, and the mercy of Allah, wa barakatuhu, and his blessings, assalamu alayna, peace be upon us, wa ala ibadika salihin, and upon your righteous servants. Okay, so in this one you're giving salam to everyone. Okay, you're giving salam to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you're giving salam and the rahmah of Allah and the blessings to every single Muslim. Okay, so the last part is Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. You don't have to translate that. But Ashhadu is, you're saying I bear witness that there is no ilah except Allah. Wa ashhadu, and I bear witness, anna Muhammadan, that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, abduhu wa rasuluhu. So how do you translate that, Brother Najmun?
Servant.
Not servant. What's abduhu? His servant. Wa rasuluhu. And his prophet or his messenger. So rasuluhu is his prophet. Who's he? Allah. Abduhu wa rasuluhu. Okay. Any questions on that? أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Alright, let's go to Surah Mulk.
Question for the tashahhud. I don't have to say it now, but this is the conversation that took place between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So can we differentiate between what was said by Allah and what was said by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam based off of the Quran?
You're saying this is a conversation between Allah and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
Yeah, this is a conversation that happened when the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went on Isra and Mi'raj. So the ulama say it's a conversation between Allah and Rasulullah.
This is like how the tashahhud was formed, you're saying?
Yeah, and this actually is a conversation. I don't know.
Okay. I haven't heard of that. So, has anyone else heard of that?
I heard something similar, and I thought it was died.
And you thought it was? Oh, da'if. It might have been weak. I don't know. But it is part of the salah, and I don't know if there might be some explanation as to why it is, why it's that specific way. Allahu A'lam. But basically, the whole point of the tashahhud is to start with the praise of Allah, right? At-tahiyatu lillahi. Just like in Surah Fatiha, you start with Alhamdulillahi, right? So it starts with the praise of Allah. Then you say, give salam to the Prophet ﷺ, and then to all of the Muslims, and then you give the shahada, right? So this is every single salah, you give the shahada of La ilaha illallah and Muhammadur Rasulullah.
At-tahiyatu means praise.
At-tahiyatu is like a very comprehensive word. It's like greetings or, um, yeah, it's like, I forgot someone who was explaining it. Like, he explained it that like if you enter the court of a king, like you give tahiyya, like you give greetings or you give, like a salutation basically. So this is a salutation to Allah. And Allah walillahi al-mathalul a'la, right? Allah has a greater example. What were you saying?
What is the root word for this tahiyya?
Hayy, haya. So like life. You know? Tahiyya is like there's a lot of meanings to it. You know? Like people say hayakallah, may Allah give you life or something, right? Okay, Suratul Mulk. We did. So I printed the first two ayat, and this one's a little bit more involved. Okay, so the first word tabaraka, they translate it as glory be to. Okay, but you don't have to translate that. Alladhi biyadihi al-mulku or alladhi biyadihi al-mulku. Okay, this one's a little bit tricky. Let me actually write it. We're doing the Surah Mulk and the these two. Yeah. Okay, so what's alladhi?
The one.
The one, mashallah, not just in class. Actually, who translated? So let's get someone who translated it. Brother Anwar.
Yes.
How did you translate biyadihi?
Biyadihi within his hand.
Within his hand or in his hand? Okay. In his hand. And what's al-mulk, Brother Paul?
The kingdom.
The kingdom. Right? The kingdom. So al-mulk is the kingdom.
Kingdom or dominion.
Dominion, yeah. Dominion is an old word. But it still applies. Mulk, right? The entirety of like sovereignty and stuff like that. Okay, but this is what I want to focus on. Biyadihi. So it's basically saying Tabaraka alladhi biyadihi al-mulku. Glory be to the one in whose hand is the sovereignty, the dominion, the kingship. Okay. Okay. Biyadihi is actually how many words? Three words, right? Okay. So you have bi, and then yad, and then he. Okay, but let's focus on yad and he first. Okay, how do you say his hand? Yadu, right? So yad is hand, yadu, and then if I want to say his hand, I'm going to say yadu hu. Okay, why is it yadihi? Harf jar, right? So when I add a b here, so this is his hand. If I say in his hand or within his hand, I'm going to add a b here. Okay, and so let's look at yad by itself. So you have yadu, and then you're going to add a b to it. Okay, so what happens when you have a harf jar? It's the ism. It makes it majroor, right? So yadu is going to become yadi. So I'm going to say biyadi. Okay? Now, why is it he instead of who? It flows better, right? So it's a phonetic rule. So this is a grammatic rule where we go from do to di, and this is a phonetic rule where we go from hu to he. Okay, and we said that this happens when. When do you go from hu to he?
Yeah, kasra, yeah.
When the letter before it has a kasra or ya with a sukun. Right? So remember we made those attached pronouns. We said hu, huma, hum, ha, huma, hunna. Okay, and then all of the other ones. Which of these are follow that rule?
5 of them.
5 of them, right? All except hunna. So these 5, the hu can change to he if the letter before it is a ya with a sukun or a kasra. Okay, so instead of yaduhu, you're gonna say yadihi. You're gonna say biyadihi. Okay. So it's really tricky. Like you can't just look at it and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So you have to sort of think about it. You have to break it down, and you have to figure out why each of these is the way that it is. Okay, biyadihi, in his hand. وَهُوَ عَلَى. How did you translate that, Brother Paul? And he is over. Okay, I didn't underline kulli because we haven't done kulli. But kulli shay is everything. Shay'un is a thing, and then kulla shay, or kulla whatever, is everything. Okay. وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. And he is over all things powerful. Qadir is like qudra, the qadr or the power of Allah. Not qadr, qudra. Huh? Kulli is everything. It's translated, but yeah. Yeah. But you just have to translate وَهُوَ عَلَى. And he is over كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. Okay? Alright. الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ. You don't have to translate, but what's الَّذِي again? The one. And khalaqa is a verb. It's just like those verbs that we've done, like jalasa, dhahaba. So it's a 3-letter verb. Khalaqa. Okay. Usually in the Quran, it's just used. I think in the Quran, it's only used for Allah. So you're not gonna see it in different. Actually, you do see it in one of the surahs. Yeah, but actually, so it says, "Am khuliqu min ghayri shay'in." Are they created from nothing? But that verb is used to ask a question, like it asks the mushrikeen, like, were they created from nothing, or are they themselves the creators? Okay. But khalaqa is a verb. It means he created. So he, the one who created al-maut wal-hayat. How did you translate? Death and life and death, or death and life. Okay. And why is it al-mauta and al-hayata? Why specific? So we know why does something go from marfu to mansub? If it's an object of a verb, right? Just like you say uhibbu someone, I'm going to make that whatever that object is have fatha. So this is the same thing. You create something, an object, so that object becomes mansub. Instead of al-mautu, it becomes al-mauta. Yes.
I have a question. When you said khalaqa, that is khalaqa by itself. When we just read that, that just means created, right? There's no
In this the way that it's conjugated, or the way it is, so all the by default, all of the Arabic verbs, they're translated to they're conjugated to the masculine singular third person. So you always say khalaqa, he created; dhahaba, he went; raja'a, he returned. So in this case, it makes sense. So khalaqa is he created.
Okay, so that's the default state, right?
So it doesn't, like, I mean, in English, like when you're saying a verb, you're saying the infinite form, like to create or to sit, right? But in Arabic, when you're giving the default verb by like in its most purest form, you're actually conjugating it as a with a he. Yeah.
Same like when we refer to something that's like akil, by default it's he, unless it's.
By غير عقل.
I mean, if we refer to anything that's a thing.
Yeah,
by
usually
default, it's he.
yeah, you assume that it's masculine unless there's specific rule for it.
But
Yeah.
sir,
Yes.
this one is definite. So why aren't we saying the death and the life?
It does mean the death and the life, but it's just a matter of like how you translate it. Yeah, you can say that he created the death and the life. Okay, ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. So ليبلوكم is to test you. أيكم. Okay, so this one we sort of did أيو. But what's أيو? Which, right? So you conjugate. Sorry, you add that to any of the pronouns to say which of you. So you have أيو plus kum. Okay. So which of you? أيكم. How would you say which of them in third person? أيهم, right? So you just add whatever attached pronoun that you want. All right. أيكم أحسن عملا. Which of you is the best in عمل, in deeds? Okay. وهو العزيز الغفور. Sister Tahira, translate. And he is Al-Aziz. Did you have anything for that? Okay. What's Al-Aziz?
Almighty.
The mighty, right? Al-Aziz, like the great or the mighty. Okay. And Al-Ghafur, the forgiving. So Wahuwa Al-Aziz Al-Ghafur, these are two names of Allah. He is the mighty and the forgiving. Okay. So we're gonna do these every time we have a chance, inshallah. Yes.
For the tashahhud, where it says wassalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi.
The tashahhud. Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi. Okay.
Okay, so why isn't it translated as?
Oh, this is not the ayyu. This is not that ayyu.
Okay.
Yeah. This is like ayyu. Ya ayyuhal lazina amanu. So this is ayyuha. This will come, I think, in book 3. Ayyuha is like to call. It's calling out to someone. Ayyuha rajul. Like if I say ayyuha rajul, this is different. Yeah. So you can say ayyuha rajul, ayyuha nas, ayyuha ladina, whatever. Like in the Quran it says, ya ayyuha ladina. Hold on one second.
So you can never write that.
No. This is, you're not gonna say ayyu. I think it used. I forget. Like this is like an old. Like this is like pre Arab, or like very primitive Arab. It's from that, but it's always like this. Yeah, ayyuha. What were you saying?
Yeah,
Yes. So what that means, O you who believe. So ayyuha, O is basically ya ayyu. Ya ayyuha is like calling out to someone, and then alladhina, who, those who amanu, believe. Okay. Let's go. We're gonna do lesson 17. We might not finish it, but I'll give the rest to you for homework. The page is 96. الدرس السابع عشر. Lesson 17. Or actually, go to the back where they have the explanation for lesson 17. It's on page 48. I don't know for the color book.
Color book we don't have.
Yeah, but actually, it should have lesson 7. I haven't looked at book 2. So the lesson numbers in book 2, they start from 1, so you have to. I think it's this one. So if you have the color book, it's lesson 7. Okay. Or actually, so go to the points to remember, or the English thing in the back. All right. So I'll just read it. There's nothing really new here. It says this is lesson 17. This is a continuation of lesson 16. It contains no new constructions. Note that the plural of himarun, which means what? Donkey, is humurun and also hamirun. Okay. So there's 2 plurals that you can use for himarun, which is humurun on the pattern of fu'ulun, and there's a new pattern that they're saying fa'ilun, hamirun. Okay. So let's go to the Arabi page, the lesson 96. Yes.
It says, I mean, are they totally interchangeable? There's no difference between either
Yes.
plurals?
They're both plural. And they both mean donkeys.
And there's no like grammar rule when you should one as opposed to the other?
No. All right. Let's do number 1. So these are all just sentences, and they're basically extending the same concept from lesson 16, which is what? That when you have something that's ghair aql, how do you treat it? Treat it as a feminine singular, right? So that's the rule. Nouns that are ghair aql are treated as feminine singular. Okay. So what's aql? Something with intelligence. So what's included? Humans, jinn, and angels, right? Anything else? It's ghair aql. All right. First one, Sister Alia. That next one. Abwabu
أبواب
al-masjidi
مفتوحات.
maftuhatun.
The doors of the masjid are open.
The doors of the masjid are open, right? The doors of the masjid are open. And why is it maftuhatun? Because what are you talking about? Ghair aql, right? You're talking about doors, so you're treating it as a feminine singular. Maftuhatun. Sorry? It's mudaf ilayhi. The doors of the masjid. Abwabul masjid. Sister Tahira number 2.
لمن هذه البيوت الجديدة.
Liman hadhihi al-buyutul jadidatu. What does that mean?
These new
What's
houses,
liman?
whose or belongs to who?
To who?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say later. Who
To who?
these new houses belongs to who?
Okay, there we go. So underline if you can with a pencil hadhihi and al-jadidatu. I'm asking you to underline them because I just want you to know that this is where this rule comes in to play. Okay? Hiya li mudiri. Hiya li mudiri sharikati. What does that mean?
They belongs to the company's boss.
the company's owner or the company's boss, right? The boss of the company. They belong to the boss of the company. And in this one, underline here. So you're saying here because it's what are you referring to? The houses. And
sorry, but
in the first one, underline maftuhatun.
I was going to ask you, why did you ask us this?
Yeah. Okay, number 3 is Shishrin. Al-nujumu. What's an-nujumu? Stars. What is it the plural of? Najm. Okay. Just making sure. All right. Read the sentence. Jamilatun. Translate the whole thing. The stars are beautiful. Stars are beautiful. So underline Jamilatun, right? Because it's Jamilun, and for feminine singular, it's going to be Jamilatun. Brother Alan, next one.
هذه دروس سهلة.
هذه الدروس سهلة. Okay, what does that mean?
These lessons are easy.
These lessons are easy, aren't they? Alhamdulillah. What's durusu the plural of? Dars, right? So lesson dars is plural durus. And underline هذه and also sahlatun. Sahlatun. Brother Paul. Mhm. لغات لغات Mhm. كثيرة. Okay. What does that mean? What's fi? In India, there are, it doesn't say it, but I'm making it easy. There are, what's kathiratun? Many. So many, there are many languages. It's a confusing sentence. Why is it confusing? Because the subject and the predicate are switched. So usually you would say there are many languages in India, right? But they switched it around. Just like, so Brother Nazmul, this is when the subject and the predicate are switched around. So they're saying in India, there are many languages. Okay. What's kathiratun? It means many, but what is it doing here?
It's feminine singular.
It's feminine singular, so underline it first of all. But it's a adjective to what? Lughatun, right? So you're saying many languages. So many is an adjective of languages. Okay. And what's lughat the plural of? What's the singular form? Lughatun, right? So it ends with a ta marbuta, so you add a hatun. Lughatun. Okay. That was a tough one. Number 6, Brother Anwar.
أين الكتب
Mm-hmm.
الجديدة.
What does that mean?
Whose are these?
What's aina?
Where are these new books?
Where are the new books? So underline what?
Underline is.
Where is the rule being applied?
This is jadidatun.
In jadidatun, right? So where are the new books? And finish the sentence.
Here fil
Mm-hmm.
maktabi.
Maktabati. What's that mean?
That means they are in the library.
In the library. Okay. And what do you underline in that one?
Here is maktabati.
Uh-uh.
No.
Hiya.
Here.
So hiya is it means it's feminine singular, but it's referring to kutub.
Yes.
Right. Brother Najmul, next one.
تلك سرر مكسورة.
Tilka sururu maksuratun. What does that mean?
Those beds are broken.
MashaAllah. And what do you underline?
Maksuratun
And?
and sururun.
Mm-mm.
Surur.
Tilka.
Oh,
Tilka means that, right?
that.
Feminine for singular. How do you say masculine? That. Dhalika. How do you say plural? Those. Ulaika, right? But you can only use that with aql. So you can't say ulaika sururu. You have to use feminine singular. Brother Uthman, next one.
الساعة ياباني
Al-Yabaniya.
اليابانية
Mhm.
رخيصة
رخيصة. الساعة اليابانية رخيصة. What does that mean?
How come you're not pronouncing the ta mahmoud on there?
Japan
رخيصة.
Japanese watch
The Japanese watch is cheap.
But how come you're not pronouncing the ta on the Yabaniya?
I should be, yeah. الساعة اليابانية رخيصة.
Japanese was not cheap
You know when this book was written?
Japan started out like China. They made all this cheap stuff.
Yeah. This book was written in the 50s.
oh
So at that time, all the Japanese cars, all the Japanese merchandise used to be cheap.
Well, I mean, they blew them up. They're
Yeah.
still recovering from World War II.
But yeah, I mean, like, if you think about it now, like, everything from Japan is expensive. Okay, so the Japanese watch is um, cheap. Is this rule applied anywhere? Yes, no. Who says yes? This rule is being used in the sentence. الساعة اليابانية رخيصة. No, right? Why?
Because the size already single.
It's one watch. You're saying one watch. You're not saying watches. It's one watch. So this only applies when there's nouns. Plural.
so what is the plural for watches
What's the plural of sa'at? Sa'at. Okay. Sister Alia, next one. Number 9.
هذه الحمور
Mm-hmm.
Okay, هذه الحمور
Or al-hamiru, it's the same thing.
حمور فلاح
Lil
للفلاح
fallahi. What does that mean?
the donkeys belong
Not the donkeys. These
these
donkeys
these donkeys belong to the farmer.
should belong to the farmer. Lil fallahi belong to the farmer. Okay. Which one do you underline in this one? Where is the rule being applied?
هذه
Hadi. Right. These donkeys. Sister Tahira, next one.
أين كتبكن يا أخوات؟
Okay, what does that mean?
Where are your books, oh sister?
Where are your books, oh sisters? Finish.
Here في الفصل.
What does that mean?
They are in the classroom.
They are in the classroom. And where is the rule being applied?
Here.
Here. Where are your books? So they're talking about books. So Shireen, 11.
هذه كتبي
Kutubi.
كتبي
Mhm.
these are my books
These are
my books
my books. Good.
وتلك كتب
Ukhti. Okay, what does that mean?
and books
What's tilka kutubu?
this book that
Those books. Those books are?
my sisters
Actually, sorry. Not those books. Those are the books of my sister. Those are the books of my sister. Tilka kutubu ukhti.
It's still same, right?
No.
Those books.
No.
Tilka is that.
Tilka is that.
I know.
And this goes back to that lesson where we introduced this whole concept. It's a little bit tricky, but don't worry about it for now. But it's and those are the books of my sister. Huh? Yeah, it means in this case it means those because you're talking about غير. You're talking about books. Brother Ala, next one.
هذه مكاتب الطلاب.
هذه مكاتب الطلاب. What does that mean?
These letters are for the students.
Makatib is not letters, it's desks, right? What's the singular? Maktabun, so the plural is makatib. So makatib al-tullabi means the desks of the students. Right? What do you underline in that one? And then the last one, the one before that, 11, you underline هذه and tilka. Okay. Last one, Brother Paul, 13. الشارعي. He gave you the twisted one again. كبيرة. Okay, what's في هذا الشارع? In. It's okay. في means in, right? And what's هذا الشارع? This street. Okay. What's فنادق? Hotels. What's the singular? فندق.
And fee can also be on, right?
Yeah, on or over or in. Fundukun is hotel. Fanadiqu is a pattern. Fi'al, I think. Okay, fanadiqu kabiratun means large hotels, right? So in this street are large hotels. So again, the subject and the predicate are switched. So you're talking about large hotels. You're telling us that they are in this street. So what do you what's the rule? Is there any rule is this rule being used here?
Yeah.
Where? Kabiratun, right? Kabirun is big, but to make it feminine singular, you say kabiratun. Okay. Do exercise 2. So it says حول المبتدا في كل من الجمل الآتية إلى الجمع. So change the subject in each of the following sentences to plural. So the example is الباب مفتوح. The door is open, so you just change the subject الباب to plural. So this will make you look up all of the plurals for all of these words. They're already in the lesson, I think. Okay, and that's homework, and also number 3 and number 4, just the whole everything except 1. Okay. So we will go over that on Monday, inshallah. Number 3 exercise, it says put in the blanks. So basically put anything that fits. So the first one is al-baytu. You can just say kabirun, saghirun, qadimun, whatever. So just finish the sentence. Number 4 is give the plural. So you've probably already done that in exercise 2, but just give the plural for all of the following words. Okay. Jazakumullahu khair. Wassalamu alaikum.